Is it going to work over here? Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go. Maybe not. Yo, give me a comment. Oh, here we go. Is it going to work over here? Let's see. Sweet. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go. All right, we're just doing some testing here, peeps. We're getting all ready to go. Looks like our YouTube stream is probably like 20 seconds behind, which is fine. You can either watch from there or over here. Either way, either way, but that tells me what's happening here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I don't know. Let's see what we're looking at here. Seems like everybody can hear me. Can I get a comment or a thumbs up or something? There we go. Can you hear me loud and clear? We're going to go ahead and switch over to our game action here in just a moment. Woot woot. Looks like we got some excitement here from the fans. In this game, we're going to check out the Tauntauns versus Ironman match and also Damage versus Leverage. These are the first Sunday morning matches at World Cup. I actually didn't get to watch these at first because I was busy prepping for our match. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and we'll start doing this. Let's see if this is going to play with some noise.
Hugo and Axel Godin, the Blue Beanie Assassins over here on the Snake side. This should be a great game here.
Breakout.
Paintball history.
Bam. Can you still see me? Let's make sure this is actually working how it should. Sweet. So we're going to back up here. All right. So first things first, every time we look at a breakout, I always try to get this little still shot here. Essentially, this still shot. You're gonna have a better time watching me live action. Essentially, this still shot is going to kind of give us our base formation here, right? And so as we can see, at 3 seconds, these guys are set up. You'll notice that the Tauntauns are kind of preloaded, where these guys set up at like 1 second. The Tauntauns are actually kind of telegraphing what they're doing by getting set up really soon. On the Snake side of the box, they have their two-man team, which is going to be Axel and Hugo, who's both Snake players, double back center, one going Dorito way. So we'd call this a 2-2-1 stack for the Tauntauns. Essentially, that means that they probably have two guys coming this way, two guys playing the center, and one going Dorito side. Where if we look over at the other side of the field, the Ironmen, they have a 2-1-2 stack. So it looks like they're going more Dorito side, one in the back center, and then two on the Snake side of the field. And so one of the reasons,
should be a great
bam, here's our first breakout. So one of the reasons why a lot of the teams don't want to play two in the back center is that you can really only shoot the outside of the Dallas and the outside of the God bunker off the break, where once that happens, back center can really only shoot to like right here and right here into the Snake. So it gives them a lot of real estate, and you can really only shoot one blind shot off the break.
Game here.
And as you'll notice, so if you look at, there's two different things happening here that kind of aligns with that. And that's going to be, see how this guy goes up and under, and this guy goes around the backside?
For paintball history.
So he didn't actually go, but the reason these guys are going under, Caleb, why are these guys going under?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know.
All right, so Caleb's standing right next to me. The reason why these guys are going under is because the back center has a hard time dropping paintballs into this zone in front of the Dallas, but can shoot the guys coming around it. So you'll notice on the Snake side gateway and the Dallas bunker, the guys all go under.
Jumping into point number one, and it does look like the
boom, and it does look like Ironmen do lose their first body.
Tauntauns are going to go short, guns up, heavy, and it's going to produce a kill. So it's going to be a 4-on-5 situation in favor of the Tauntauns, but the Tauntauns going to lose Hugo out of the Aztec here on the Snake side. Axel filters out, along with Marky Franz Jr., the lone American here on the Tauntaun squad.
So I think one of the things that's unique about this field is we just watched them fill the
Snake
Snake
side. Axel filters out, along with Marky Franz Jr., the lone American here on the Tauntaun squad. So it's 4-on-4. Ironman quickly into the Snake with Geiger. He played really well. One of the big reasons they're here was Geiger being just a brutalizer, an intelligent killer here on the Snake side.
Yeah, you got to know when to attack, got to know when to retreat here on the Snake side. Geiger's been big in this 4-on-4. He's going to have to deal with Axel Godin after the death of Hugo.
So you'll notice in the Snake that these guys all come here and basically play like down the tape. And a lot of that is because on this Snake with this like Snake 2 bunker here in front of him, you can't really guard the tape from the back of the field. So from the corner or the like Snake 1, you cannot see if the player wants to come all the way to your side. So you pretty much have to be an S3 where he's at or S2 to see that tape. So you'll see a lot of guys play the snake just to plug it and try to find the intel on where the snake player was. One of the unique themes about this field was that the second snake player got lost a lot, where even that last snake fill we saw, you'll notice from those guys' back view, they actually can't see him when he goes
So
up.
never afraid to take up the real estate there. Konstantin Fedorov in that D2 early now. Marky Franz Jr. coming out to the snake corner. He's matched up by Pat Kraft Jr. for the Ironman. Both teams with a snake 2, snake 3, and snake corner players.
Yeah, slightly better field position here for the Ironman. Nice move out for Pat. He's going to get a quick glimpse from the ref. Looks like just a bit of rub. Geiger is going to reposition and back up off that spot and get back to snake 2 for that outside battle, but he's going to lose the gunfight to Hugo. So awesome kill here for Hugo. Now the one body advantage here for the Tauntauns. Those are the gunfights.
So right here is where there's a lot to talk about. So the snake side's hard to see as far as when people fill it. But now they do have the advantage of they've shot.
The Ironmen need to win if they want to contend with the Tauntauns.
Yeah, that was Axel Gaudin in there. One of the best gun battlers from his elbow, meaning like on the ground in the snake. Nice job by Axel to reassert a body advantage here. 4-on-3 advantage Tauntauns in the early goings of this match.
This field you gotta be mindful of. Yeah, so there's no one on the snake side. So here's the big Tauntauns mistake. Let's see if they catch it.
Fedorov communicating with.
Essentially, what the Tauntauns should be doing here, and this is like kind of the first real teaching tip, is that essentially by having 2 guys on the snake side against nobody until they just filled this can, if we were playing this bunker, we would probably be looking to be either standing over this snake 2 or over the snake 1, or possibly in this brick, just shooting right here so the back center can't fill. This guy can wrap this and just shoot here to keep them completely trapped up and hold our advantage, right? And one of the things that I want to preach is that we have to hold our advantages first, right? If we shoot both these guys and they just immediately fill the corner over here, we've kind of lost our advantage. But if we can shoot the first 2 guys and hold the advantage, then we're going to be able to push down and win.
Colombo, now Tom Guest going to filter over to the snake side, trying to plug the gap over here for the Ironmen. Shooting down on Axel Gaudin. Tom Guest so good at using his height. It's been up and down a little bit yesterday.
Look to get out there.
But if the Ironmen are going to go far in this tournament and even win it, he's going to be a huge factor. Konstantin Fedorov crawling into the Dorito 3. Tom Guest getting into the snake. Now Marky Franz Jr. Fumi Blanche into that paintball fit wedge. He's going to have Overwatch on Guest.
So Axel here. And Marky Franz not feeling any pressure. Axel going to be popping the top here as no one's shooting at him right now. Looks like
it definitely seems
Pat
like
Jr. was shooting down the sideline here on the snake side, but then flipped his gun, or at least looked towards that D side. Eyes cross field from some of these spots. Not great until they get real far up the field. Really have to get crafty with angles. These teams obviously have. That's why they're here inside now for Mark.
He also hasn't been looking.
Yeah, let's talk about this corner bunker. So I think this guy's been here the whole time. He can shoot across the field to shoot one of the deep Dorito cuts. So he may have just been stationary there. But what this corner actually does, the biggest value in this corner is, one, it's a good anchor bunker so you can be on your feet, see a lot, and communicate. The actual biggest value was, though, is it opens it up so you can go under into the snake undetected. So the likelihoodness of Tom Guest there going into the snake undetected is much higher if these guys have to worry about this corner player.
Franz Jr. as he gets to the brick.
Which it does not look like he's
for the Tauntauns trying to
right
utilize this body advantage.
Yeah, and on Sunday especially, every day on the paintball field, converting the high body situation so key, but especially on Sunday, you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get. And they're going to make good on this one so far, killing Lennon out of that South Electronics door. So now a 4-on-2 advantage Tauntauns, and both bodies for the Ironmen are stuck on the snake side. Tom Guest going to take the walk. Look for the concession here as it's just Pat Kraft Jr. Tauntaun for the
go ahead and skip ahead to the next one.
None in 2025. Event beat the moment, and you can tell they're getting pumped up for this. Dreams have come true. They're playing on Sunday in the Pro Division. Here at the World Cup, they still got a chance. Everyone's always got a chance.
But you'll notice, so Damage, they won the tournament, one of the best teams in the world. They went with the 2-1-2 breakout. This player here is doing what we
on the great equalizer,
bingoing or like ghosting off the box. And so it's very likely this player is stepping out and he can actually see right here where this guy's trying to land, or he can shoot right here where this guy's trying to cross. And so it looks like Marcelo here is trying to shoot the heads up, which would be this guy in the Aztec. This player is actually doing the same thing, trying to shoot this guy crossing in front. It's a shot a lot of people weren't shooting because it's a very difficult, high-skilled shot, but the pros could definitely shoot their first few paintballs to land here coming this way, or this guy going this way could shoot here.
So here we go on the break. As it looks like Caputo going to take a little.
Like they ran past this to give Marcelo a nice landing pad here, and they shot the wides. Let's go back and look at that.
Come true. There's always got a chance. The gun, the great equalizer. Here.
Yeah, so actually, if they don't shoot this guy in the back line, this guy gets pulled out for going out of bounds, it looks like. So he's clearly out of bounds for leverage. That's the first.
Here we go on the break as it looks like Caputo going to take a little bit of ground, but
looks like they also shoot this gateway player. So essentially with kill 2 here, them doubled up in the back center, this would be a great
bodies coming off, leverage damage, going into a 5-on-3 here pretty quick, Mike. Shoot those wide bodies for leverage.
Maddie, I was going to say this first point is so critical for leverage because they play well with the lead. They really struggle from behind. Huge underdogs against Tampa Bay damage. So winning this first point would be huge, but it's an uphill battle after losing those 2 bodies off the break with Keith Brown getting into the snake, backed up by Jake Edwards, but Keith Brown was shot in transition. Good job, I believe, by Woj from the back center.
Yeah, that's a great kill. And roughed up here for Keith Brown in a drastic high body situation. They got some ground, though. Here our eye in the sky. You can see body up into D3 with a good crossfield spread here for damage, but no forward progression with the death of Keith Brown. In the snake, Ron.
So as we talked about earlier, right? So if there was 2 guys on this side, it would make a lot of sense for this corner player, as we can see here in the top corner, to be pounding the outside of this can so that our other player can go under and go all the way down the snake. And that's going to be holding the advantage so we can work that.
Looking towards that D side. Ooh, got to be careful right there, Ricky.
Yeah, that was actually Dominic DeVivo, I believe, from the back center who killed Keith Brown, keeping leverage in this point. They have Alfred De Los Santos in the Dorito 2. Now Ricky Moran filtering out nicely into that snake corner. That gives leverage a chance to hold up a developing attack from damage.
Yeah, Moran, that's a nice fill. Tough gap to get through. Got to worry about that crossfield shot here. As you see, Tampa Bay damage. It's either Horn or Shear. I can't see him blocked out from here, and it is
Shear.
I don't know. I think that's Horn.
No, it's Shear for sure. Saw him at the start block, but with Marcelo behind him.
Yeah, so it's Chris Shear, which makes sense. Big pickup coming over from San Diego Dynasty, but you see how he's wrapping around.
Let me see if I can make that better.
It's kind of tough on that D side because the bunkers are slightly tiered in until
you get to that 40-yard line, that D4. Anyway, so go back in this game. It looks like it's going to be 4 players for damage versus 3 for leverage. Damage is starting to put their 2-man team together here on the Dorito side. It's going to be Chris Shear and Marcelo.
My mistake, Matty. It was Horn over there wearing the black beanie, moving like that.
I knew it.
So at this point, it looks like leverage is just kind of crossing it up, trying to hold it off. This is the gap I was referring to, shooting the deep Doritos. It's going to keep them from being able to move down the field.
I love how Skinny Kevin has been managing this deep roster here.
And there is some bounce shots into the snake that can really slow those guys up. From the Dorito 1 and 2, so like the 2 big Doritos, you can shoot the face of a snake 50. I'll show you when I see it. And it can bounce into the 50 snake. It can slow up all the snake guys I've ever seen that person.
Likes to anchor down and try to win some gunfights.
He's at the
see if we can see it. So these Doritos here, if they shoot the bounce shot, let's pause it. So those Doritos, these guys here, if they shoot right here at the face of this bunker, it can actually bounce into the 50 snake. So it causes these guys to play a lot more conservative, specifically when there's only 1 guy on that side.
And all these names you see on the bunkers, these are the best fields in the United States. All these fields, all these names, those are the leading lights in certain regions of the world. So it's very cool to see.
Alfred De Los Santos playing both sides of that Cousins
Dorito. Fast forward a little bit here because these are becoming a little bit of drag out points. We'll see if anything exciting.
Marcelo Margagis with that projecting huge void.
Pate Smith from Pate Smith Law. He's been doing this the past couple years. $5,000 at. So somebody is going to get blessed out here with $5,000 based on merit and
here we kind of have our 2
I'd love to see that body drop though here for leverage.
They finally shoot their front Dorito player. So here's where the advantage has to be holding. The game has to be turned, right? So our biggest priority now is going to be isolating these 2 players. And so really on this side of the field, it's going to be about one of these 2 guys holding the advantage. So he's stuck in the back center, and then the other guy creating space so that we can pinch the back center or the
longer point now as it went to that 4-on-3 damage, trying to be careful to preserve this high body situation. But they're going to get the kill on De Los Santos, and that is going to do it here. Point conceded by leverage.
So at that point, leverage actually gave up, and they let a lot of time burn off in a down body situation.
Yeah, they're just going to play.
All right, so we got the 1-0 game. Right back into the other side. Bam, here's our quick breakout look. So again, Tauntauns doubles the back center, shoots for both wides.
At the moment, but yeah.
Looks like Ironmen are going to take both unders. This is a unique route. I want to point this out. Paintball timing is everything. Let's watch this insert player on the Ironman. Watch how much time he spends going up and over to go to this Dorito Aztec. What you'll notice is he doesn't just go as fast as possible because this Dallas player's first paintballs hit him here if he goes as fast as possible. So you'll notice he purposely takes a little more time.
Paintball, if they don't get intimidated by the moment, but
yeah, and then he cuts over. So he kind of cuts up and then cuts over. So he's not here at the exact wrong time to get shot by this player.
Damage in that one, shooting the two bodies early and then getting in control. Ironman,
the back player gets shot. And so here, this player in the can and this player going to the Dallas both shoot back and forth for each other. And this guy definitely goes slow enough to get shot by this player.
Yeah, full control from damage in that one. Shooting the two bodies early and then getting in control.
Ironman also take kind of a big bite to get into this snake wedge.
Going to be on the blue side, and Ironman losing a body.
Which can be surprising and lock people into this aspect. We did find though that by being here early, it made it kind of hard to gunfire with all of these guys. Because if they step into your mirror, it's kind of hard for you to see them.
They need to increase their survivability if they want to hang.
Yeah, Henry Sense really struggled yesterday. Didn't play the first point today. Steps up here onto the line. Dying out his bunker early. 5-on-3 advantage. Tauntauns with the 1-point lead. Tom Guess in that paintball fit. No, sorry, that's Garrett Baldwin in that wedge for the Ironman.
He's working over there.
Hugo Verhage trying to battle his way into the snake.
And then you'll notice that this can's like doubled. Towards the end of the tournament, you see more and more of this. And what's happening is this guy and this guy become more shootable, so people have to double these bunkers. We also found that this bunker here, the God bunker and the Dallas, were kind of the only guys that could see anything off the break. This guy could run over here and see if these guys flashed here, or he could see if they went in the cross. So sometimes it's better to have two guys there so we can see both ways than try to run everybody heads down and not see anything.
Nice to roll off that with Baldwin all over the gap.
Yeah, Baldwin on that gap, looking over the shoulders here for the Tauntauns as they're doubling up that Boston paintball can, which can be a bit of a treacherous position, but not really in this moment here. But it does look like Axel wants to get out of there, but he's got to worry about Baldwin's gap. Baldwin's on the gap right here, so if he tries to filter out wide and get out to that back corner bunker, Baldwin will potentially have a shot on him.
See, this is a great hard trap.
Wouldn't be surprised either to see a Tauntauns player filter through the middle and try to just get Baldwin off the field. Nicolau on the overwatch from that Dorito too, but Baldwin is what's holding up the snake side attack for the Tauntauns. The blue beanie duo, Axel and Hugo, unable to get outside wide with Baldwin, refusing to give up the lane.
Teams are all playing to the circumstances, and so Tauntauns are currently up by 1, and you only have to win by 1, so you'll notice they don't really take any chances until they have to, where Ironmen are still kind of pushing the issue here.
He's got the drop here on Hugo. Hugo screaming and letting his teammates know with the communication that Baldwin is on their side.
That's a very risky move. One of the ways that we kind of looked at this layout was at levels, and so he just pushed into the farthest level forward, which means if anybody goes behind him and can break this level, even here or forward, he gets that back.
Here comes Kyle Nicolau up the Dorito side. He gets torched, so it's just Baldwin and Tom Gass.
Yeah, and here it comes. Bam, they break the level. They shoot him in the back. So that's the classic version of what I call getting overextended, right? Across this field, let's see if we get a little better picture of it. So it looks like that's going to be our concede. Let's see if we get a good picture of the field, and we'll talk about levels real quick.
Survivability needs to increase. Shout out to Baldwin, though, trying to make something happen. Looks like he was shredding paint, though, as he rips.
See if we can get a good view.
All
right, so this is our good view real quick. All right, so on this field, we kind of have the back line. We have like the insert line. Then we kind of have this big dead gap, and then we have these levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Essentially with this layout, one of the nuanced themes was you wanted to try to work with your teams and stay on similar levels so you don't get shot in the back, right? If you work too far forward and end up on either like the middle level or their level, it's easy to turn the field and shoot you in the back. So you had to be very mindful of not getting overextended like what we just saw in that last Ironman point. So just one of the unique things about the field. That's why
from behind, it's DeVivo, Ricky Moran, Chris Caputo.
So leverage looks like they're going to have double back center. Looks like they're running one out from the D side all the way to D1 and then playing the flip side. And it looks like damage over here as a really smart team. They purposely don't run through this gap. They go slow, get heads up, and then dive across real quick. They don't want to take that chance. You're basically taking one risk with a smart player and just running through a gun to get some ground.
Here currently. So
Ooh, looks like they're shooting some soup.
on 5
That
situation.
cannot be that fun.
Even up on the body count.
Paintballs are everything.
Yeah,
If you want a
that's step
video on
one
how to
for
take care
Leverage,
of your paintballs and
surviving
how
the
many times it
break.
gets,
Chris
we can
Shear
talk about
now
that
into
later
the
or ask a
Cousins
question
paintball.
on
Dorito
it
2 for
you.
damage, still in the back center. Here comes
And here's
Jacob
where Damage
Edwards
kind of
into
makes
the
a move into
Hertz
this can.
Looking real
This can was
comfortable
kind of
out
a
here
unique
on this
spot
Sunday
because it was
morning.
kind of a death bunker where like later in the game you couldn't really do much, but you could come here and shoot the snake one guy crawling around, which was the big surprise.
Jacob
And
Edwards
so you
and
didn't want
Chase
to be here
Edwards,
if they
they've
were
been
already in the
standouts
snake,
for
but them
me for
not being
damage so
wider
far
in the
this
snake gives them
tournament.
this inside gap,
Yeah, the Edwards brothers have
and then also that
they've been
snake
on
one
one
gap.
here. But Tampa Bay getting contributions from Alex Goldman as well too. Keith's had some good ones, and Marcelo Margot with a clutch one-on-one victory.
Man, if you're not
doing
envy
Marcelo
this player,
Margot
building
things. So
tons and tons of
yeah,
paintballs.
they look primed. They can keep this going. Definitely a favorite to win this tournament. Fighting out of that bracket of death, knocking Dynasty out yesterday afternoon. And they're looking for it here. They've got some good ground, looking to take that wedge. So Edwards is going to get across and post up on the lane. But even sitting on a
See, and
lane,
here's the
making some
inverse
offensive moves
situation
here,
where Jacob is probably going to try to hold this
might even be
as
thinking
long
about
as he
getting
can,
across.
and then Keith is going to bust
He's
into the
posted
snake,
up
or
quite a
Mythic
bit down
Goldman
that
back there is going to try to get in the
he's gonna
snake.
shoot that lane for a little bit. He doesn't
I
need
will
to make
also
it across.
emphasize that like Damage
That
doesn't have
action
to do
down
much
far
here.
bunker,
They
and
have
they
the
are right
advantage,
on
and
the
one of the
snake
things
side.
about this
People
field
started
was
to
you
play
could
that
take
throughout
ground
the
to slow it
tournament.
down.
It's been pretty
You
effective.
couldn't hide in the
And you
back of
can
the
get
field and
in
like
there
completely stop the
pretty
game.
easily.
But if you took the
There's
ground
some
and got to the
options
30
through
or
the middle
40
and
yard line, you
outside.
could slow up the whole
Ricky
entire game.
Moran getting out to the Boston paintball can. He had his barrel off his gun with the back center doubled up for Leverage. Good job by Moran to get out of that situation. That was treacherous for a little bit there. Leverage still with 5 alive, hanging tough here. Huge point for them.
Caputo thinking about trying to get in the snake, but then he chucks off on that lane, but feeling pressure. You can see that paint. Right-hand side of your screen, Chris Caputo. Paint blowing
Again,
up
with
off
Leverage
of
being
his
kind of the
bunker.
rookie pros, they had a
Lots
really
of
good
pressure.
showing at
Caputo
this
and
event,
Damage
even
trying
playing
to
into
keep
the
Caputo
Sunday
out of the
first
snake.
round. I think this is
Leverage
about the point in the
want to
game,
keep
though, where you
Chris
can kind of
Caputo
tell there's some
in the
pressure
backfield and out of the
on these
snake.
guys, where they feel like
Yeah,
they
he
kind
and
of have to
Alfred
force
De
the
Los Santos are
action,
really their only front field
which usually does not work very well
press
against a
out
team
here
like
so far in
Damage.
this tournament. Caputo shoots Alex Goldman in the dome. Bunker to bunker, huge kill.
But then he
Shoots
Yeah, and this is
Alex
what I was
Goldman
talking about.
in
So
the
check it out. They were just
dome.
saying it. So this player just shot his mirror down the seam, and then this player in the or in the wedge shot him. So if you were engaging down this seam, it was really tough to kind of play it because there was always an extra body that was hard to account
Bunker to
for.
bunker, huge kill.
But then he gets shot as well too. So after getting a quick, nice kill, Caputo on a little bit of a greedy wrap gets his eye dotted. So it's 4-on-4 here. Even up on the body count. Jacob Edwards rolling his gun. They're going to get the kill inside. And
See, in the next one that just happened, boom, he stands up right here and shoots the back center. Let's see what we actually get.
His eye dotted, so it's
Wait for it.
4-on-4 here.
Right here,
Even up on
boom,
the
he shoots
body
the back
count.
center.
Jacob Edwards rolling his gun. They're going to get the kill inside. And
this is
Ricky
totally
Moran, it's just not looking good again here for Leverage. They do have the D2, and they have a crossfield, a little bit of a cross. Keith Brown is going to eat crossfield here as he's going to get the kill on D3. And then he might be getting shot from D2, though.
Then you'll notice what happens here. You don't really see it, but Jacob stands here, like we were talking about, just shoots this to make sure this guy can't move down the field or do anything, and he waits for his buddy to pop up on their end.
And then he might be getting shot from D2, though. No, D2 is tucked in. D2 for a second might have had a shot on Keith Brown. Keith Brown launching.
See, quite frankly, Jacob just blew it right there. He gave up his responsibility and filled the corner. That's what you don't want to happen.
Jacob Edwards is going to launch. He's going to run the inside.
He's going to make up for it, I guess.
He does it. Almost runs out of bounds. Does get stitched up from D2. Then Keith Brown finds that body. And here comes Chris Shear. And
that's going to be a 2-0 game with Damage here. Let's get the next breakout real quick.
Better guns up on the break. Better survive.
So it looks like Tauntauns is going to have the two small blue beanie guys playing Snake Way, double back center, Fedorov playing by himself. Sometimes these setups, too, are actually based on personnel. Like, Fedorov is a very unique, super talented, skilled player, and they have no problem playing him island or running him far by himself. Whereas a lot of teams, it is going to be based on who you have playing those spots.
Here for the Tauntauns through 2. Looks like everyone just...
So let's actually look at this guy. I like this look here. So watch where these two guys are shooting. So you'll notice Hugo is trying to shoot his first paintballs right here. So this player, look at where their guns are at. It's a great picture. You guys see the difference here? This player is shooting here. This player is shooting here. And again, it's the only way that we really could get paint on this guy or this guy. And then these players on this side have kind of a similar shot going out.
Everyone's just sticking with this starting 5 here on Sunday, doubling up that Volta bunkers again. Here for the Tauntauns, that's been one of their default play calls. Tom Guest going to release early to go to the Badlands Tower, and he's got the height to play even over that brick and get better angles from that situation.
Didn't see the Ironman's breakout, but it looks like they have a pretty good spread. Both teams are kind of matched up in the gateway, the snake insert,
a bounce
back
shot,
center.
on toward Konstantin Fedorov. That's not zipping in on him, but
It
still
does look like
Guest
Tom
with a
played
lot
that
of
tower.
options out of that tower to come forward. Don't see that bunker used a lot, but Guest effective.
Again, a lot of these
playing
times,
those
like they are
spots
planning for
typically.
playing against
Both
Fedorov
teams
over there.
with
Where
five
if you
alive.
don't have someone
Zach
shutting
Geiger
it
looking like
down,
he's going to try to
he
make
will
his
take
way into the
ground
snake
down the
after
floor
he
and shoot you
swaps
in the
his
back.
barrel.
So
He's
they've
backed
kind
up
of
by
put Tom in the
Packcraft
spot to
Jr.
isolate Fedorov over there.
Took a bounce right there. Axel Gaudin seizing the opportunity to move outside wide to the snake corner. Three-prong attack over here for the Tauntauns on the snake side with Marky Franz, Hugo Verhage, and Axel Gaudin.
And even that fills that can there, I don't think that's necessarily because that is like a way better bunker. It's because the back center sucks. It's just getting out of the back center to come to a spot where you can either shoot and see the outside of the snake, or this guy can turn and shoot the Dorito too. But from the back center, you can't do that. So just get into a better spot to get reset.
His gun, maybe dump some broken paint. Now it looks like he's got that gun back up, and he's going to go into the snake for the Ironmen. Ref coming in to check him.
You guys also notice that Tom are one of the few teams that are very comfortable playing just Fedorov over the Dorito side. He's over there by himself a lot.
As going to make it clean.
Yeah, Packcraft Jr. in the corner, so both teams with the snake corner and a snake presence. Both teams in the Dorito 2. That Badlands Tower, Konstantin Fedorov looking low on the inside from the rest of the tournament for those Dorito players looking inside.
Yeah, 7 a.m. start, the D side glare from the blue side looking over to the back corner bunker on the snake side that's the worst part of the glare.
Henry Sense now into the...
Let's talk about this. So coaching tip real quick. See where his head is at? See how low it is? I know we've talked about this a whole bunch of times. You pretty much always want to generically play these Doritos like below the logos and as low as possible. You'll notice pro guys even like lay down behind them and try to crawl to them because it's really hard to shoot people in the low corners, and it's much easier to hide when you play the biggest part of the bunker.
That's the worst part of the glare.
Henry Sense now into the Pittsburgh Paintball Park insert behind Geiger near Kraft, looking like he wants to make a move forward toward that wedge. Tom Guest making a move into the wedge on the Dorito side. Now Henry Sense indeed into that paintball fid wedge on the snake side. Hugo Verhage doing a quick head check.
Ironman stacking up bodies here at the 40-yard line to try to push into these guns. Hugo shredding paint though down the sideline. Henry Sense
definitely don't envy these guys playing super early morning matches broken paint.
On that inside cut from Snake 2. Guest trying to create some opportunities here on offense from the wedge. He's going to get some help. Kyle's going to dive in.
See, and here you'll notice, guys, Ironmen are kind of taking more ground because essentially they have to, right? So for us, like this Snake 2 and this Dorito were kind of our castle bunkers. Like one of the unique things about them is this guy can guard the tape. He can also shoot through this seam if he wants to and kind of play safe where he's kind of hard to get to. This player can shoot through this little seam in the middle and shoot this guy if he's moving around. He can also take and shoot through this seam on the outside of this brick and shoot into the snake. And so Tauntauns are going to be kind of content just chilling this one out and letting the Ironmen kind of whittle the game away and have to move into their guns.
It's Lennon.
It's the blessing and the curse of Sunday paintball. People don't have to take chances.
Former New York Wrecking Crew. Long point here. Panicking so far, but don't want to go down 3 with limited time on the clock. Detected in that snake side wedge. He's playing it up high in case Hugo tries to run down Geiger, but Hugo so far playing with a lot of patience for that young man.
And there's not a lot going on in this game. They kind of hit the cross-up zone where this is kind of the cross-up spot. On this side for the Ironman, this is kind of the roadblock. And then this guy plays with tons of uncertainty because he can't really see anything over here. Bricks are on the way. All he knows is that there could be a guy turning the corner, and that's why he's so low. Like this player is only looking right here just because there's so much uncertainty of seeing this guy crawl around.
Say, okay, come get it. Come try to crack through this 50-yard line. Good luck.
I like what Lennon is doing, too. I think when the game locks up like this, the moves are on the Dorito side. He's still got to get through Colombo's gun and Axel Gaudin's gun, so that's certainly easier said than
Honestly,
done.
the move on this field
But
is right to this exact
side
setup.
can lock
This
up.
player
Geiger
working his way
definitely has the
into...
ability to come
All right, check it out. So you got a guy here, a guy here, a guy here, a guy in the back center, and a guy on the Dorito side. If this guy goes over into this thing, he can lean back off of this and shoot the snake player. He can also pinch both of these guys out. So the next move in this formation, I believe, is into the Dorito structure because it's what's going to pinch out these snake side players in the back of the
and
field.
hopefully Henry Sense connects on the shot. But if you're the Ironman, you got to start thinking about how we're going to easy. So you're going to have to minutes on the clock.
Yeah, basically paintballs flood through the zone you would like to attack.
Kind of forget that Sunday
Now they
paintball
have
can
to
be kind
start
of boring
making
sometimes.
making some choices and start
Up situations, and then you got to capitalize on so much
That's
talent.
by far the most technical. Caleb standing next to me and he said it's got to be the most technical paintball. And it is. It's people not looking to make mistakes and do smart things. Even this move by Hugo here moving up, like he doesn't really have to do that. He must have heard they communicated to him that this player was over here. He's looking right here thinking he might have moved up. But I don't necessarily think that's a great move because all he's doing is kind of put himself in the danger zone. So what do you do? He gets seen, he goes back to kind of get out of the danger zone. And now really you might bait someone to come bunker nobody by making that move.
He's got Overwatch on that zone.
Yeah, that's smart by Hugo. Like the idea of getting detected in the Snake 3 and trying to bait Geiger into bunkering him out. Now getting low on the outside. Here comes Guest across to that center 50 brick. Definitely looked like he was hunting for Hugo in that Snake 3, but Hugo has retreated. Pat Kraft going to dip inside to that Boston paintball can. I like this filter over by Pat Kraft with these bodies loaded up on the Snake side for the Tons.
Ironman definitely have kind of all the spots and all the setups, but they got to kind of find a kill.
Coming off for the
Like Fedorov gets shot by somebody over there.
I think
it's the Snake player who shoots him.
That should open up a lane here as the Ironman. Can they do
Yeah,
something?
that kind of opens everything up because this guy really is the guy that can see through the middle and he can see into the Snake.
As he's backing up off that spot.
So now it's here where these two Ironman players will really be trying to turn the field. Oh no.
Exploring these options. I'm wrapping around to trying to put pressure, but the D side is now the weak side here for the Tauntauns.
But essentially the best formation here that let's just talk about this setup. So anytime we're looking at paintball, we're always looking for setups, right? And here we have a pretty clear setup. We have these three bunkers kind of in the back center all the way to the Snake corner, and then we have this front Snake guy, right? And then on the Ironman team, we have two on the Dorito side. We have one on the back side of the Snake who's filling forward, a Snake player, and this Texas player. In theory, if they were to do this perfectly, this Snake player could find a position where he could shoot and hold the back center. This Texas player could shoot and hold the Snake player. And we essentially have two guys like funneling them into this zone where they can't really make any progress. And when you can use all of our other resources to turn the field or find a way to punch through the middle. And that would be kind of our perfect close in this setup.
All four of them are from the back center over to the Snake. And they have only one gun looking. It's just Colombo. Everyone else is looking Snake side. Okay, now Hugo's put his gun that way.
Oh, and Colombo just gets killed out of the back center, I think by Lennon, perhaps by Kraft. Kraft definitely dropped that shot in on Fedorov. Kraft filtering from the Snake corner all the way
into getting exciting.
3 has really opened this up.
And right now they're actually this guy right here is shooting a bounce shot off the back center trying to kill this can. I actually think it was better from the Dorito too. So from here, you had a better bounce shot.
Actually tying it. It's gonna be a major penalty assessed here on Hugo. They have the bodies to absorb that major. Two bodies will come off.
Penalty hard to watch.
To put themselves in a legit chance of actually tying. It's going to be a major penalty assessed here on Hugo. They have the bodies.
Yeah, so we missed it. Looks like what happened here, though, and this is why that cross-up I was talking about is so important,
saying about the next minute
is that essentially this guy who's not paying attention should be looking here to protect him, but I think Tom, this pointer, this guy should have been looking here when I think it was this guy over here that saw him coming.
Chance of actually tying. It's going to be a major penalty assessed here on Hugo. They have the bodies to absorb that major. Two bodies will come off when a red flag goes up, and the Ironmen need to read this moment.
I think I should do it.
Yeah, okay, so the last body pulled, it's immediately going to stop the time.
I would also say that, like, Hugo didn't need to do that, right? If we're playing circumstance and situation, it's currently a 2-0 game with about 2 minutes left. And yeah, at some point going for it makes sense, but also you're taking a lot of risk to possibly lose that point and possibly cost your team later. If they don't have the bodies to pull, then they would have to start down.
A little bit down by 2 and a little bit less time on this one, 8-16.
All right, so damage looks like they are going to do one player to Snake side, double back center, two towards the Dorito way. And again, you'll notice Marcelo does the same thing here. Watch him, his little bingo spot. Pulls his gun up, does not go fast, but he's shooting wide. So he's stepping out, shooting for this Aztec player, getting a wide open shot that you can't get from the back center.
Gonna run De Los Santos.
See if they hit him.
Dorito too. He's been taking that.
Doesn't look like they hit him, but they definitely shot for him. So damage ends up in the Dorito 1, Dallas, God, back center, Gateway. Looks like leverage is gonna be double back center, Dallas, Gateway, and Dorito 1. So damage is like the best team in the world right now. They just won. I want to point out they started back center, but you did not catch them back center for more than a few seconds, right? They used that position to get some guns up and then got out of there because the value later in the game is very low.
Caputo in the snake for the first time, but they're going to lose Woj out of the back center. So 5-on-4 advantage damage with the 2-point lead. Caputo in the snake.
Caputo, he had a really good event. Again, rookie guys, like, takes quite the commitment and beating to really be good at the pro level. So it's exciting to see those guys kind of show up and have a good showing and make it all the way to Sunday at World Cup.
And he's wrapping around, just checking off on that sideline. He's going to have to worry about it now.
Right there, that's the unexpected throw, right? If this guy goes head down, you just don't see that corner throw.
Edwards, Jacob able to dip into that back corner bunker.
Marcelo Margot taking the walk here. So 4-on-4 advantage, uncharacteristic death. Marcelo is shaking his head. That's big forward leverage. Not sure who killed Marcelo. Might have been Caputo from the snake. Caputo now swabbing his gun.
It's just on YouTube.
Crispy out here this morning. Seeing a lot of barrel breaks, a lot of
and it will be posted there. So if you're wondering how to find this, it's just on the DBS YouTube. It's live streaming there, and it will be on that also.
Leverage.
So
that's
how we'll look back at it.
Teams the body in the snake. Mouse Goldman versus Chris Caputo.
All right. This is a good view to look at this setup. So leverage is going to be snake corner. Snake 2, Dallas, Dorito 2. Damage is going to be snake corner, S1, and back center. I think they lost their Dorito player.
Yeah, definitely a lot of barrel breaks out here. It is a little bit crispy, as you were saying, Mike. Good field position for both teams, really. It's pretty mirrored up here. Slightly better field position for leverage on the D side. They're into D3. And D2 and D3 are inset. D1 is outset, and so is D4. So if you want a gun battle down the sideline, you need to be in either 1 or 4.
But he's going to get shot in transition as Alfred De Los Santos. Man, he took about 4 in the back from Jason Edwards, who was holding that zone. Talk about good zone control there.
Damage actually has 4. They do have this Dorito player, Chris Shore over here. So we kind of have a two-man game going on both sides. Like, it doesn't seem like it because it's back center player, but what they were just saying is this back center player is just peppering this gap from the 2 to 3 on the Dorito side, and that's holding up that whole entire side because they recognize they're weak over there, right? So we recognize, hey, it's our weak side. How do we just keep painting there?
Getting dire now for leverage. Chris Horn into the Dorito 3 now for Tampa Bay damage.
Scratch that. It's the other Chris. It's Chris Horn, not Chris Shore over there.
On the rookies, leverage in their first Sunday appearance. Alex Goldman popping the top with intention. Picks up Caputo in the snake 2, calls it out to the backfield. Edwards now out into that Thunder Valley insert on the Dorito side to get closer to Chris Horn. Goldman.
See, and this is kind of the same setup we had earlier, where leverage doesn't have that wide Dorito player. So a lot of it's about damage, just like creating a hold on the snake side, holding the trap on the Dorito side, and then working
They got Zach Moran in that.
Here comes Jacob Edwards, as Jacob Edwards is going to get up into the wedge. So Goldman need this one. Point margin doesn't mean anything here. You're just putting yourselves in a chance to win, but you're playing in a 3-on-4. Damage has a pretty good crossed up situation here.
I also want to point out too, guys, like if you notice the difference in these two teams, one of the big things is both teams want to stay on job and like do what they're supposed to, but you'll notice damage is much more proactive. The better teams are generally more proactive. And that doesn't mean doing anything crazy. It doesn't mean like taking tons of chances and risks. A lot of times it just means looking around more and like trying to take in some more information and trying to be a better communicator and kind of knowing what you and your teammates are doing so you can be more proactive and essentially get a few more chances to get eliminations and information in general.
He should know where that body is. But Jacob, intelligently, he's not getting in a gunfight with Chris. So he's just keeping him in that spot, wrapping occasionally, but he's not getting in some wild 50-50 gunfight.
So this is perfect situational paintball. Jacob is here in the center, just guarding the snake 3 move and completely locking down the snake player without ever really giving him a chance to shoot anybody. And so what that does is, so they had him in the chokehold here, right? So by this player being in the center brick, stopping the snake move and not trying to engage, leverage feels a need to give up. It basically means that this player can hold them here, snake player can protect him, and they have the wide open side with nobody on it. So leverage has to forfeit that game because they know that damage is just going to let all the time burn off and kind of get the W in that context.
So just a opponent.
All right, here's our next breakout. This is going to be Ironmen Tauntauns. Bam. at it real quick. So it looks like Tauntauns are doing kind of the same thing here with their two snake players, double back center.
Now down.
And notice Fedorov actually purposely, let's watch it again, on the drill side, purposely goes slower to try to shoot this cross.
Ironman now down 1, 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. This is
And
such a
then Leverage is
critical
going to
point for
take
Ironman.
the snake wedge, back center, doubled it. I didn't see how far they went on the drill side. Let's watch it.
Ironman now down 1, 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. This is such a critical point for the Ironman to stay alive.
Again, so Leverage double back center, Dallas.
Baldwin.
God, look at a loser player running up to this wedge. I think Fedorov might have shot him because he's literally looking right where this guy went to off the break. He's literally shooting and looking right here.
Ironman 2 coming off early. So it's a massive 5-on-3.
And it looks like this is a game where the Ironmen kind of get trapped up in the back. There's like 2 in this standstill, 1 guy in the Dallas, and it looks like the Tauntauns is
and the
totally
early
5
going, those first engagement deaths. So frustrating here.
Yeah, and they're not.
See, this is the point where if you're the Ironman, you probably want to blow the horn.
Yeah, they need to concede this point.
Yeah, right there. And essentially a lot of it comes down to you just got to save enough time, right? So I would say best case scenario is points take about 30 to 45 seconds if everything goes perfect. And so you're trying to keep enough time on the clock where you get another chance to win the game there. And once you get down enough, these better teams are not going to let you kind of be able to make those quick advancements to try to get back in the game.
We're going to go ahead. It's like Caputo is going to be running. Are they going to send him? They're not.
Let's see how this matches up. So it looks like damage doubles back center.
Like
so we'll take a damage roll. So damage doubles back center. They go under to what we call the Cali and the Dallas. Actually, just dive in front of the Cali and work all the way up to the wedge, I think.
Just talked about this.
Sneak move. Let's watch it again. Chris Shear gets under this lane with the back shooting. And stands up and can scramble this brick. Follow back center. Dallas and God. And you'll notice that Leverage kind of gets blown out off the break here.
They're not. He's going to go. They're going to go heavy guns. So just talked about this. Maybe go heavy guns. The risk from damage, though, they do risk, and they send a body up into.
Yeah, so Leverage kind of goes heavy guns, but also it's like clearly they have to play their first engagement. Like this God player, you'll notice he's engaged over and over again because they're feeling the pressure of having to score some points.
Relatively safe.
The best thing you can do while playing style paintball is not feel like you have to pick every gunfight. If you trust your team and communicate more, gunfight less.
Wall on that side. Chris Horn does get into the Dorito too. It's a 4-on-4 advantage.
I do think that this guy just got
now Alex.
Yep, just got shot. Bam, flip the penalty on Leverage. And that's probably going to end this
show here for Leverage.
Couple guys.
Yeah, Leverage still has 2 bodies left alive, but whoever's in the
Mouse is like the king of probably the team side to the last couple guys. So good job, Alex Goldman. Getting the last couple points here.
Carter Donaldson.
All right, so this is a really important breakout for Ironman. This is pretty much this is your 2-minute warning basically in an NFL game where you basically have 50 seconds to score each point. So this is kind of the do or die point for the Ironman. We'll probably see their best play.
Well, the Ironman going to send Kyle all the way outside wide.
I do want to point something out here. So a couple things happened on this breakout that's a little more unique. On the Ironman, this bingo player, he lines up like he's going to shoot from the back center, but he actually steps out. Look where he's shooting from because he's trying to get this wide open shot that we were talking about before onto this Aztec or anybody going wide, and they have to kind of get a kill to have the advantage. But he lines up like he's playing back center. You'll also notice his other back center player shooting with his right hand. One of the things that we try to do a lot on this layout is trick the other team which way we're shooting. So the back center can only really shoot one way or the other. You can either land paintballs here, or basically here or here. But we wanted to trick you and make it look like we were going the other way. And essentially, you show that you're shooting right-handed, but you shoot the opposite direction to try to shoot the wide.
Well, the Ironman going to send Kyle all the way outside wide, and he's going to get chopped up. So
it looks like the Ironman gets shot kind of two, and then the third snake player go for a point that you have to get. This is not going to be. Let's backtrack here. I think one of the things that I would probably, if I was coaching the Ironman, I would say this is kind of rookie mistakes or rookie stuff. The main reason why is they took tons of chances without trying to give themselves a reward, right? So a lot of times in these situations where you have to score a point, we want to try to put multiple guns on someone we know we can shoot, and then essentially try to take advantage of shooting that guy, right? And the example I would say is like, if we knew this guy was going here, which you may not, you'd probably want back center and this ghoster to try to shoot him. If we thought they were going snake side off the break, you'd probably want this rainbow ghoster and back center to try to shoot him. But it's basically all about just
Ironman
getting
gonna
two
set
guns
Kyle
on
all the way
guys so we can get a guy off
outside
the field
wide,
and
get
not try to
chopped
take
up.
too many
So Ironman
risks.
trying to go wide.
Where in this breakout, they basically had three guys take crazy risks. They all died, and
And they
it
tried
pretty
to
much
send
means the
Geiger
game's
into the
over without
snake.
them ever
And
getting a
both
kill.
those bodies going to be walking off. So that's going to do it here for the Ironman. Left.
Yeah, Tauntaun.
Ironman did concede that point if you missed it, so they gave up.
So
Paintball. Back and these cool.
Don't worry, guys. Next week I'll pick some more exciting games. I just didn't actually get to watch these ones because I was prepping. So, all right, let's watch this breakout real quick.
The machine all the time.
In pursuit of
Bam. So here we have leverage on the right, damage on the left. So damage is double back center. Marcelo really likes this ghost shot over here. You can tell that it's really a priority for him.
Trying to put a shutout victory.
And quite frankly, I think they shot the wide doing it. So likely Marcelo, this guy right here in this gap. This wide Dorito player.
Here, Tampa Bay damage. Trying to put a shutout victory together. It's going to be 4 on.
And again, if they can kind of force those quick kills, this game is out of
Make it a
control.
4 on 2 off the break. This point,
it's looking that way.
I think this ends up being, I don't want to ruin the score here, but I believe this ends up being a big time Mercy game on the other side.
A new one though. Go play.
Let's watch the breakout. Most important part. Again, if you were watching film with me and we're going to talk about it, there's a couple snapshots I want. I want the lineup and I want the first little break. But you'll notice right here, Ironman is just doing crazy, crazy things, taking 3 heads down. Looks like they're running and shooting the snake off the break, which is just like wild risk.
Trying to get revenge for their second place.
Where you'll notice the Tauntauns are more than willing to kind of stack up in the back, which to be frank, in a closer game, this actually isn't the formation you'd want to run. The fact that it's a three-point game with a minute 20 means this is kind of okay. But if it was 3 minutes left or 4 minutes left, this is a really tough formation to play out of.
In Cincinnati earlier this year, Ironman putting in a valiant effort here.
This guy I'm talking about, you'll notice the Tauntauns are kind of wholesale if they're getting pinched out of their spots because the Ironmen were able to take some ground. And again, it's kind of that same concept we mentioned earlier where it's like take ground, slow it down. If we don't take any ground on this layout, it's going to be very hard to slow the field down.
Past or at the 50-yard and 40-yard lines. They're all the way onto the Tauntaun side of the field. They're up bodies. Tauntaun's just trying to burn clock here and hang tough. Margin doesn't mean anything. Here comes Henry Sands. He's going to
point by the Ironman though to actually get one back and close out that point.
The first one I'm putting on the list. Henry Sands with a nice little.
And so now they're down by 2 with about 40-something seconds left, 42 seconds, 38 seconds, 44 seconds.
I don't believe Henry.
Not quite enough time to do anything crazy, but you can give yourself a chance.
Damage with
all right, so this is a 5-0 point for damage. So what that means is the next one's a Mercy. We do play Mercy 6. Bam. So let's look at the breakout here. So it does look like we have double back centers over here for damage.
Running
2 snake runners and a Dorito short.
With his team up 5-0.
And he made it clean.
And again, I want to point this out with damage. So damage is winning 5-0 right now, but they took the ground off the break so they can get to the best spot to slow the game down.
CJ Botsalis getting into the snake here, and their damage trying to finish
actually,
off this Mercy rule
this is a unique player. This is CJ. He owns him. He doesn't really get a play. And he happens to be playing this point, very last 5-0 game on Sunday. CJ, I don't know him personally, but he seems like a good dude. He is one of the main guys behind damage. He owns the team. And I think he only does in this point because of the circumstances. So if he's trying extra hard to win, it's likely because he doesn't get to play much.
Keith Brown's going to get out behind CJ. So CJ rapping, hoping that Chris Caputo gets in a gunfight with him. They're down the sideline. Caputo slightly off camera. He's all the way at Snake 2 here for leverage. Caputo's just looking inside.
Anything exciting here.
In the mix here with this big lead. Minute 23 on the clock. Just Mercy rule or not, in terms of stakes right now, damage is definitely moving.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most one-sided Sunday games you're ever going to see. More specifically, even outside of the context of this match, you have Damage who, picked up some of the best players in the world mid-season, kind of coming into form. They end up winning World Cup. They won this event. Their leverage is at the very end of their pro season. This is their first Sunday they made. First time playing through the kind of the playoffs. And there goes TJ making his big move, getting his glory.
With the 2-pack to close, three kills there for TJ.
Nice, good job, TJ. Pretty exciting. I think that's maybe one more point on the other side.
One off the down to 44 seconds left, 22 seconds per point.
All right, so we missed our breakout here, but it looks like Ironman ran kind of wild. Mistake. I saw yellow flags come up.
door cracking open here. However, the Ironmen have lost 3 early.
It just looks like
Spitzma
shenanigans.
through.
Yeah,
Paintball gets
Spitzma's
real
still
crazy
alive,
at
but
the
he might have
end.
caught one, though. No, he's not. Spitzma clean. Spitzma's
And I want to
So that's
reinforce
gonna
the
do it.
concept of like
wondering if
penalties
he's
will
gonna
lose you
hit it
tournaments.
to
So if you're getting
play another one
penalties,
for
then it's
fun.
probably
Oh,
never
no,
going to
he's
go
gonna
well for
say,
you.
yeah, let the clock roll
Specifically in
down
the
to
context
probably
of they always
around,
told me that if you
say,
don't
3
want
or
to go
4
out when you get
seconds.
shot, it just kind of shows that you don't have faith in your teammates to win the game.
Yeah, so the Tauntauns, but for the most part, I'm into some.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be our
Sentiment.
match review session for this. Let's make sure there's nothing super exciting coming up right now. I think that's pretty much the end of the games. It
Yeah,
is.
he
So
was seeing black,
go
like he
back
had a
to the
black
hub
spot
here.
in his vision for the whole one of
So
the
that's going to be our
games.
review session for
So he's
today.
playing on a
Does anybody have any questions or want any feedback or advice based on these kind of games or anything we have coming up? We'll do a similar thing next week. We may get into doing the Northern Lights games, though, in the next few weeks. I know the ladies have asked for me to do a review on that, so at some point I may jump in and do that. But here's a good time. We can do a few minutes AMA. Any questions, Caleb?
Give me a few minutes. I'll come up with it.
Perfect. And I do want to say, guys, thank you for tuning in. We do have a special promo code rolling at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to grab some deals at ddspaintball.com, you can use that promo code LIVE2025. It'll save you some money. If there's any matches that you guys like have seen that you want to watch or like super stoked about or like, you know, want me to kind of talk through, just let me know, post them up. I'm always looking for more content to review with you guys. So this is kind of the first little rundown. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. We do have a special session going on Friday where the pro shop will be open early from 9 to 6 p.m. And then we are doing open play from 11 to 3. And I do know they'll be playing some speedball and that kind of stuff. So if you want to play tournament style or rec ball, 11 to 3, Ryan will be out here playing. And then again, the shop will be open with some deals for Black Friday. So that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, we'll keep these rolling probably weekly. So stay tuned. See you guys next time.